People paid good money to drink radioactive water. Their doctors said yes. And for a while it felt wonderful. Not weird water, not cheap water. Radioactive water. On purpose, every day, for your health. For about 30 years, the deadliest thing you could drink was sold as the healthiest thing in the house. And the truly strange part is this. It worked. It really did feel wonderful. That was the trap. How does a health drink take a man's jaw off his face? Make a whole room of young women glow in the dark? End up locked in a lead box 1,000 years from now? By the end you'll know. The people drinking it were sure it was good for them. Nobody thought it was poison. They thought it was the most exciting thing anyone had ever found. Radium had just been discovered. And it did something that looked like magic. It glowed. On its own, in the dark, it gave off warmth with nothing burning. No fuel, no flame, just energy pouring out of a tiny speck and never stopping. To people back then that looked like bottled life. Like you could scoop up a little of it, swallow it, and top yourself up like a battery. So that is what they tried to do. They put it in everything. And I mean everything. Radium water to drink, radium chocolates sold to make you young again, glowing toothpaste for a brighter smile, face cream so your skin would shine, radium soap, radium hair tonic. There were even radium suppositories. We will leave those alone. A whole shop of things that glowed faintly and promised to make you feel wonderful. All of it perfectly legal. Most of it blessed by a doctor. And if the shops ever ran out, you did not have to stop. You could make it yourself. At home there was a jar, a heavy stone jar that sold by the hundreds of thousands. You filled it with plain water before bed. Inside it was lined with radium, and by morning the water had soaked it up and turned radioactive. Then you drank it. Several glasses a day. Every day. Good for you, they said. A little glow with breakfast. So here is the real question. Why did drinking radiation feel good? Because for a while it genuinely did. And that is where the trap snaps shut. Radium looks to your body almost exactly like calcium, and calcium is what your body builds bones out of. So when you drink radium, your body gets it wrong. It thinks a fresh supply of bone has arrived, and it carefully files the radium away, into your bones, into your teeth, into your jaw. And there it stays, for years, glowing quietly inside your skeleton, firing tiny bullets of radiation into the bone around it day and night, killing it slowly from the inside. That wonderful toned-up feeling people paid for, that was the poison moving in. The miracle and the poison were the exact same thing. Nobody showed that better than the richest man ever to fall for it. His name was Eben Byers, a wealthy man, a famous golfer, fit and healthy. He hurt his arm, and the doctor told him to try a little radium water. He loved it. He said it gave him a wonderful toned-up feeling. So he drank more. Then more. Over 1,000 bottles. Over a few years. Then his teeth started falling out. Then his jaw began to rot, and the doctors took it away, piece by piece. Holes opened in his skull. And when he died, his body was still so radioactive that they buried him in a coffin lined with lead. A newspaper wrote the line that says it all. The radium water worked fine until his jaw came off. And if it could do that to a rich man sipping a tonic, imagine the girls who painted it all day with their mouths. Thousands of young women had a bright new job. Painting the numbers on watch faces with glowing radium paint so you could read the time in the dark. To paint a number that small, you need a sharp brush. So they were taught to shape the brush with their lips. Leak, deep paint, leak, deep paint. All day long, swallowing a little radium every single time. Nobody told them to worry. They were told the opposite. It is safe, have fun with it. So they did. They painted their nails with it, their teeth, and on the walk home in the dark they glowed. The glowing was the fun part. Their jaws were not. One by one the girls got sick, tired, pale. Their bones grew soft and snapped for no reason, and their jaws began to rot. Exactly the way Byers's had. The same element, the same disease. It even got a name. Radium jaw. The rich golfer and the factory girls, doing completely different things, were dying of the exact same poison, sitting in the exact same bones. And the companies that sold the paint kept saying the exact same thing. It is perfectly safe. So the girls decided to prove that it was not. A few of them, led by a woman named Grace, took their company to court. They were already dying. Some were too weak to lift their own arms. They did not win a fortune. They were too sick to wait out a long trial, so they took what they could get, and most of it came too late. But they won something far bigger than money. Before them, if your job slowly poisoned you, that was just your bad luck. Because of them, and the women who kept fighting after them, a worker won the right to take a company to court for the illness the work had given them. Dying, they helped write the rules that protect you at your job today. The craze finally faded. But the radium did not. Radium never does. Here is the strangest part of all. That glowing stuff is still out there. And it is still dangerous, right now. Radium takes about 1600 years just to lose half of its bite. Half. So the things people held 100 years ago have barely calmed down at all. The woman who discovered radium kept notebooks. Ordinary paper notebooks. Today they are kept in boxes lined with lead. To read them, you sign a form and put on protective gear, because the pages are still radioactive. And they will stay dangerous for another 1500 years, longer than they have already existed. Old watches, buried tins of face cream. They are all still ticking on the same long clock. So what finally killed the craze? Not science, the bodies did. It took a rich man's skull and a room full of dying girls, and the headlines they made, before people finally put the glass down. And here is the real horror of it. The radium never failed. It never let anyone down. It did exactly what the adverts promised. It got inside you. And it never ever left. They paid to drink it. Their doctors said yes. And for a while it felt wonderful. That was the trap. Now you know why. Next mystery. This Olympic marathon was won on rat poison.